Hi, my name is Mark Shortland and this is the AmazeBox. This is my utility device that I came up with in order to be able to switch a billet without touching it. So I go nowhere near this box at any point during my performance when the spectators are putting the billets into the box or when they're opening it. I am nowhere near it. However, it's not just a billet switching box, it can be used for various other different bits and pieces. You can use it for a question and answer session, you can use it for a lottery prediction, or even for card routines. Really, this box is limited by your imagination, and for that reason, we're not really going to look and focus on routines on this performance, on this video. We're going to look more at how to actually use the box and how it works. So here we go, let's have a look and see how it works. Okay, so let's have a look and see what you're going to get and what you're actually going to need as well in order to create the AmazeBox. So first of all, we're going to have the AmazeBox. You'll have that in your pack, as well as some Velcro dots. Now, they aren't necessarily going to be exactly the same as these ones. The American ones might be slightly different. So don't worry, all Velcro's the same. It's a complete rip-off. What you also need as well is you need a pair of scissors, you need some kind of electrical tape as well, and you will need a glue stick of some description. That's what we're going to need. Let's see how they all work together. So here we go with the box itself. Let's have a little look round and see what we've got. There is a big flap just here, as you will have found already, and then the rest of the box is going to pop open like that. Okay, that makes the main part, the main bulk of it. And then this piece here, this flap here, this is going to create the place that hides all the billets. Okay, it's going to create the little extra piece in the box that people aren't going to see. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to glue one section of the box. Okay, so if you pop your box open like this, and have a look, let me turn it over so you can see it this way just here. There are two slots cut out, and between the two slots there is a line just here, a crease where the box is going to fold. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold that crease over, okay, and we're going to pop this inside the box like this and pull it all the way through so that crease comes to 90 degrees and those two slots are over the top of each other. Okay, that's what we're going to do first of all. Alright, so we're going to put the whole slot through the box and then we're going to fold it at the crease between the two slots so the two slots coalesce one on top of the other. Okay, but before we do that, we need to glue it, because we're going to glue between the slot and that crease. That's the piece we're going to glue, just between the slot and the crease. So let me show you again, just here. So here's the crease just here, here's the two slots, and where it's folded just here, okay, we're going to glue that section just there. Okay, so let me just do that. We've got our glue stick. We'll just give it a little bit of glue just there. Push all this back through the box again. Make sure those two slots line up. And then we're going to stick that down just there. And really now you want to leave it just for a few minutes just to stick properly, because if we carry on too far, what will happen is with the box creasing in different ways, that's going to pop open again. So we're going to leave that to stick and then we'll come back to that in just a few seconds. Alright, see you in a minute. Alright, so we've got this bit glued now. This bit is all stuck down. The rest of it basically is origami. Alright, we're going to create the box now. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to go to the bottom of the box just here, and then these side flaps that have a little piece cut out just here, they are going to fold in, one on one side and one on the other side. Beautiful. Okay, then you will notice that the second piece up, the second section up from the bottom of the flap bit that we had earlier on is slightly angled. and that angle will allow it to go up inside those slots like that. Okay, now all we need to do now is we're going to fold this piece here, and this piece, this is where it gets a little bit awkward. Okay, it is awkward here, but trust me, it does go and it will work. Okay, I'm going to put it onto the side just here, but this edge here, all right, is going to go in that slot just there. Okay, so you have to just bend it around, and then you just sort of slide that in, and inside the box sometimes helps, and when you get it right, it just pops in. Go on, in you go. There we go, beautiful. And that just slides in like that. Okay, once that's in there, we can close the section that doesn't have a tab on it, at first, and then let's just pop that out, then close the section that does have the tab on it. That tab is going to fold round as well, and then handily there is a little slot just here where we're going to pop that inside. So that is going to go, oh, just need to get that out, there we go, like that, and that is going to pop in like that, and we are done. Okay, so that's where we're up to now. Okay, we have our box basically made with all the top bits still ready to go and ready to have some work done on it. Okay, bottom's done, let's move on to the next bit. So let's create the rest of the box and let's actually close it down. So what we need to do first of all is we're going to close this bit. Now this is a bit that we glued earlier on, if you remember, with the slot in it. Okay, we're going to close that, but what we want to do is we want to make sure as we close it that we open up the inside bit. This is a secret compartment, so our fingers just go in between the two pieces of card just here and just push it just a little bit, and that will open it up. Okay, it just needs to open up a little bit so that when we start to close the box properly, it continues to open. Okay, I hope you can see that on the camera. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit so you should be able to see in there. There is a little bit more, there's a gap just there that we can get into. Okay, and then we're going to close that down, and it will basically, it will stop. It will stop when it gets to, when it goes perpendicular, when it goes flat. Okay, that will stop. It won't go further than it can do, if that makes sense, or further than it should. Okay, it goes in just there. Now these angled pieces just here, we're going to pull that one out, and we're going to pull this one out as well, and then we lower down the top of the box. So now we have this situation, it's all sort of closed down, but we have these two corner pieces sticking out. Alright, and this is what we're going to use the Velcro for. Okay, so we have our Velcro dots just here, two of them. I'm going to stick these together first of all, so I'm going to put it so we've got the actual Velcro stuck together, and then the sticky pieces are on the outside ready to go. And then I take one of them, and on the bottom piece, not on the top, okay, not on the top where the slot is, but on the bottom of the angled triangle, we're going to stick one on just there, and the same on the bottom of the other one, the other triangle. Going to stick one on there like that, and then all we have to do is we just push those down like this onto the side of the box, hold it there just for a couple of seconds to allow that glue on the outside of the Velcro to stick. Done. That's it. Okay, and now when we pop this, the Velcro is working, and over here the Velcro is working. Okay, and that means now we can stick it down and we can use a Velcro. Perfect. Let's move on to the next bit. So that's our basic box made. We're going to make it a little bit easier to open and a little bit easier to use. So first of all, we're just going to open up the Velcro pop it open, you'll see that this flap opens quite easily to begin with. Okay, it's because it's new, it's because the card hasn't got used to where it needs to fold, because it's been flat in your envelope the whole time. So it will sit down better later on, but it just needs to bed in, if that makes sense, and get used to being sort of folded in that way. Okay, but what we're now going to do is, and as you can see, as I open this up here, you can see the flap coming into place, lining up, and so when it sits like that, it just looks like a normal flap, and you can show inside the box, and inside the box it looks like it's normal. Fantastic. But obviously we've got a little bit of an angle here, okay, which is where our pieces of card are being hidden behind this piece just here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a little bend. Don't push it down really fast, but just a little bend, just a little extra. Okay, so a little bend down again, just to help it to work better. And then as we close this, you can see now already, as I close it, I don't need to put my fingers in to make that thing pop open. As I close it now, it just pops open by itself and drops back into position again. Okay, great. Now, to help with an audience member opening this, because what I do is I'm blindfolded when I use this. Okay, so I'm going to be blindfolded before you even open the box. So I want it to be easy for the person to open the box. So I'll show you what I've done with the one that I'm using at the moment, which is this one. All I've done is used a little bit of electrical tape, and I'm big on red for some reason, but I like red. Obviously use whatever colour you want to, except for white. White is probably not a good colour to use because the box is white. Okay, or if you don't want to use electrical tape, you could pen it and give it a little colour in. Okay, but I've just coloured in that red flap just here. Okay, put a little bit of electrical tape on there. Okay, just so I can say what I want you to do is I want you to crack the Velcro on the side where those two bits are. If you pull the triangles, you'll feel it go. Excellent, and I can hear that underneath the blindfold as well. And then grab the red tab and lift it up. Now if I show you this, okay, to do that, now grab the red tab and lift it up, and they do that. Okay, and then I say grab the other red tab, which is just here, and pull that, and that pulls that, and that opens up the box and shows all the pieces inside. Okay, that's that. So let's have a look at putting it in this red tab just here, and that red tab just on the top just there. Okay, get rid of this. So electrical tape, this is basically dead simple. I'm just going to open this up. Oh, there we go, lovely, beautiful. I mean, really, I don't know why I'm having to explain this bit for you. I'm sure you're very capable of being able to do this, but dead simple. We're just going to cut a piece that's just long enough to go onto the tab, and we'll just stick that on just there, like that. Obviously with my one, I spent a bit more time and made it a bit neater and got it all the way to the edges, but with this one, we just stuck it on just quickly, just so you can see. I forgot they were in there. I don't know who put them in there. I'm making a mess already. Right, then let's have a look at this piece just here. This one just here. Okay. That's dead simple, really. All I'm going to do, let's get rid of the box just here. I'm going to take out a slightly longer piece of electrical tape. Get rid of that. I'm going to fold it over and stick it to itself. Just like that. Okay, so let me just use the scissors so you can see how far I've gone. I've done about that much. Okay, about an inch, inch and a half. Okay, 3 centimeters for British people, inch and a half for American people. Okay, or if you're from anywhere else, it's about half a slug. I'm going to take off a little bit of the sticky stuff. So now this piece is half folded over and half sticky. So my scissors are exactly where the line is. On this side I have folded over tape, and on this side I have a single side, and this bit here is sticky. So I'll leave that just like that rather than turning it the other way up and sticking it to the table. Pop our box, open it up, and then all we have to do, without letting this come back together, so we're going to keep those two pieces here apart, okay, we're going to stick the piece of tape through the first slot, through this first one, but not through the second one. So it's not going to do this, it's not going to go all the way through the slot. We're actually going to stick it on the inside of this top piece just here. So I'm going to push it down like this, like that, and I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to let that fold over like that. I haven't quite got it straight, you kind of get the idea, like that. I can push through so you can see it's not on this side, it's not on that side, it's going between the two pieces of card, push down on that side, push down on that side, get that stuck down nice like that, and that's it done. Now go back here. Obviously when we close the box we want to make sure that this tab is there and not there, because if it's there when we close it, we'll stop the people from being able to put the pieces of paper in. Okay, so we need to make sure that we hold on to that tab as we close the box down like that. You can't see the tab from the top, all right, from whichever angle, and we're done. That's it. So now grab the sides where the triangles are. If you pull them you'll feel and hear the Velcro snap. Wonderful. If you pull on that first red tab, and then inside you'll see another red tab. If you pull on that you'll open up the box, and inside you'll see lots of pieces of paper. And there we go. That's our box created. So take your time with it, and yeah, let's have a look and see how it actually works, and where all the pieces of paper go, and how to get the paper out as well. Okay, so we have our box made up. We need to do a little bit of setup before we actually work with it and perform with it. And basically the setup is putting the force pieces inside the box. Okay, so when I do my routine I have a mind reading thing about a film. So I need to make sure that they take the right film out of the box. So all the pieces of paper that go in there have the name of the same film written on them. Okay, so we're going to assume, because you don't need to see them all, that the yellow ones are my force pieces. So box is open and the force pieces go inside the box. Beautiful. And then we close the box up. So close it up. Just going to make sure again that this piece here opens up. Close it down. Make sure the flap is out the way. So when we close this box and do the Velcro, done. Excellent. Okay, and that sits and allows people to put pieces of paper inside. So people will come up, they will write the name of a film on a piece of paper, fold it up and put it inside the box. And I'm just going to put a few in like this. So everybody comes up, they put their favourite film inside the box. Just like that. That's all the white pieces are from our spectators. Obviously when you do this you're not going to use different colours of paper for, you get the idea, yeah, they're all white. Good. Then the person comes up, they open up the box, open up the red bit, grab the second red tab, pull that piece, and they take a piece out from inside. And obviously we've now switched all the pieces. These are now all the yellow force ones. And all the white ones, all the ones that the spectators put in, the volunteers put in, are hidden behind this wall just here. Okay, that's basically how it works. To retrieve those pieces of paper, I'm going to close the box up because it just makes it easier to do it. And then all I have to do is just open up the bottom of the box. Remember that flap that we put in a long while ago? That opens up. This one opens up, and there's a handy slot just there as well. This box is full of slots and flaps, and if we turn it over we can tip them all out, or we can just go in with our hand and we can pull all these out. Great. And then when they're all out, we're ready to go again. Perfect. Because when I perform on ships, I have to do 2 shows, and I don't want lots and lots of piece of paper being inside that box. So it's always handy once you've done your performance just to empty out all the pieces that we'll put in, so you're working with an empty box again. But we're going to go on to that now, and we're going to have a look at pieces of paper, how much inside the box, how we go about that. So let's move on to the next bit. So let's have a look and see how much we can actually fit inside the box, because obviously inside the box there's only a limited amount of space that you can put stuff in, and if you put too much inside, then what's going to happen is as the spectator opens the box up, that piece, let me show you, as they open this up and they open this piece just here, the section here is going to be too full. So as they try and open it, it's not going to coalesce properly and is not going to sit down and look like just a normal box. It's going to end up sticking out, and it won't close, and then the box won't open properly, and then they'll pull on it because they don't know what they're doing, and they'll break the box basically, or they'll bend it. Alright, so we don't want that to happen, so we have to limit the amount of pieces of paper that go inside. Okay, now I've worked with this box quite a lot, and I figured out that really your optimum amount of paper that can go inside this box is about 2 sheets of A4. Okay, now that doesn't sound like very much, it's only that twice. Okay, but remember you're folding this up. It's about 20 to 24 pieces of paper of that size. Now this is the size that I use because all they're doing is they're writing the name of a film on a piece of paper and they're dropping it in the box. It doesn't have to be massive. Okay, if you wanted to do a big question and answer routine with this, and you wanted 6 or 7 questions answered, your piece of paper is going to end up being bigger, so you're going to have less pieces of paper inside that. Okay, mine are all exactly the same size, and I'll show you. I get 12 out of a piece of paper. Okay, so let me just show you how I do that quickly. We'll get rid of the box. All I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the A4 piece of paper inside. Now I'm saying A4, but I think that's called foolscap in America. I'm not absolutely sure. I'm not too sure if you've got A4 or not. But if you haven't, then A4 is that size. There you go. Just hold the piece of paper up against your TV screen and see if it's the same size as that. There you go. It's that big. Good. Okay. So I'm going to fold that in half. We're going to tear that. Obviously, if you wanted to be really neat, you could use scissors or a guillotine, but for me, I'm usually doing this very quickly backstage because I've forgotten to do it, so it's tearing it. So we're going to fold that in half again. Okay, so now I'm down to A6 size. Okay, and I have 4 pieces that size, which are A6, and then I'm going to fold this into 3. So that way, that one that way. They don't have to be exactly the same, but kind of close. And then that, and we'll do exactly the same with this one, just here. So you can either watch this or you can rewind the DVD and make it look like I'm doing it again. There you go. Perfect. And I would do that with 2 pieces of paper. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and of course those are doubles. That gives me 12 pieces here from one sheet, and another sheet will give me 24 pieces altogether. Now I'm also very anal when it comes to this sort of thing, and make sure that people can get their piece of paper. So what I will do on the stage is I actually fan them out like this for them and put them in a little pile. So it makes it easy for them to take their piece of paper and they don't have 2 stuck together like that. and that would go next to the box just here, and also a couple of pens, 3 or 4 pens will be down by the side, so a number of people can walk up to the stage at any one point. They can take a piece of paper, they can write their name on, 3 people doing it at a time, fold it up, and they put it into the box just like that. Okay, I have a big screen that says please come down to the front of the stage, write the name of a film on a piece of paper and put it in the slot in the box. I've recently changed that to please come down and write the name of a film on one of the 20 pieces of paper and put it into the box. Okay, the reason for that is because if the paper runs out, people have a tendency to grab anything else that they have nearby them, write on that and stick that in. So I often get coasters in here with the names of the film. I've had napkins put in there. Okay, small chihuahuas go in there quite easily. Okay, just you have to use a bigger pen, obviously because of the fur. But what happens with that is that if you have extra alien pieces of paper in there and a lot more pieces of paper, when you come to open it, it makes it a lot more difficult to open because the napkins don't fold up as easily as this. You see, that's pretty small when you folded it in half, or however people have folded it, and that goes in. 20 of those inside the box is not really going to affect it, but one napkin screwed up and shoved in does. So I try and make sure that people just use the paper that's available and don't go and get, you know, half a magazine page or something like that. Let's go on to the next bit and see what happens if we don't want to do it where people are coming down onto the stage. So obviously if you don't have the ability or don't want to have a big screen at the front of your stage to say come on down to the front of the stage, we need to do it in another way. And when I worked at the Magic Castle recently, what I did was I went out before the show and I gave the front 2 rows in the parlour, which is about 20 people, each a piece of paper and a couple of pens, and I got them all to write the name of a film onto that piece of paper and hold on to it. And then when I came out and did the show, I could go along, obviously I'm holding it this time, but I could go along and I could get them all to drop their pieces of paper inside the box, and then the last person got the box and I went back onto the stage again and I could carry on from there. Okay, so you don't have to have this just alienated from everything else. If you want a bit more hands-on, if you're working in a smaller environment, as long as people are happy to write names down on the pieces of paper, you just get them to write it down, get them to fold it up as well, because obviously if they don't fold it, I'm going to see what the names of the films are, or whatever you're putting in here, you're going to see it when you put it inside. When I come and give you the box, I'm going to see it if you don't fold it up, so make sure it's folded. Okay, and you can go along and you can get them all to put it in, and then either give it to the last person and say, right, I want you to open the box, or even easier is you open the box and say, right, last person, just grab one of those out. Okay, and that's another great way of using it without having to have the stage and the announcements and things about come on down and put the piece of paper in the box. Hope that helps. So the other thing as well with the box obviously is it's white. You can see mine's taken a little bit of dirt just here. The reason why we left it white is because it's fairly natural, and I don't really like props that look like magic props. If it's red and has got gold bands around it and things like that, or black and it's got sparkly stuff on, it looks like a prop. I wanted this to look like a box. I wanted people, when they open it, to open like it's a mailing box or something like that I've stuck a slot in. So it's very understated. Obviously you can do whatever you want with it. You can colour it, you can encrust it in jewels if you want to, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can make it a whole different colour. All I would say is if you are going to try and change the colour completely, so make it like a red box or something like that, it would be a good idea to do that before you stick the Velcro down. Okay, so change it, maybe cover it in sticky back plastic, in Fablon of whatever colour you wanted to, and cover it all over. Okay, but then stick the Velcro down afterwards once you've done all your decorating. But I like it as white. If you wanted to just put a couple of stamps on it or something like that, you know, and a frank, or make it look like it's come through the post, whatever you want to do. But for me, it's just an unassuming white box. That's all it is, with a little bit of a red tab. But then the red tab becomes obvious when I say you'll see the red tab, you need to open that. It's there for a reason and not because it's red. So let's just go over some final pieces about the box, and then we can pack it away. I'll show you how to pack it flat, and we're all done. You're ready to use it. Off we go. So one thing that some people have mentioned about is this second flap inside just here. Why is it here? I just find it easier for people to open a box with that. If that's not there, there's two ways that someone can open the box. They can either go up and try and grab hold of the top of the flap just here, which is difficult because the box doesn't really open particularly well, okay, which is what it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to open particularly well, okay, or they put their fingers inside the slot and they open it like that. Now, that's perfect, assuming people know exactly how far to stick their fingers into the slot. Okay, if you just did it with the tip of your finger and pulled, it would work perfectly. It would be brilliant. Okay, but people aren't going to do that. All right, they're a bit more clumsy than that. And what people will do is they'll stick their whole hand inside and pull. Now, if you put your whole hand inside and pull, hopefully you can see what's happening here inside. Okay, and my fingers have gone further down than the slot on the other piece of card. Okay, if you wanted to try this, you'll feel it better in your box, okay, than just watching the film. Okay, so stick your fingers inside, start to pull, and you'll feel what happens is your fingers go between the two pieces of card, and you can't close the box because your fingers are in the way. So you have to pull your fingers out and then lift it like that. So I've just added this flap here just to grab it, and you open it up like that, and that looks great. It's a retention vanish essentially of the pieces of paper. Okay, so that's why this extra bit is just here like that. Alright, now to break this down, what we're going to do is, first of all, we need to make sure we've got all the pieces of paper out. So we're going to get rid of our force pieces first of all, and obviously keep those so you can put them back in the next time you use the box, so you don't have to write out the same force things all the time. So they all get collected together and kept separate from the ones you're about to take out, okay, which have all different things in, which is the ones that the people have been writing on. So again, we're going to go inside the box, open up the flap, take out all those ones. Is that all of them? Yeah, there weren't many inside. Okay, and these are the ones that get screwed up and thrown away. Get rid of those, okay? We don't want to get them mixed up with these ones here, the force ones. Remember, these are white as well when you're actually doing this. These are not yellow. All right, remember that. Good. Get rid of those ones, don't need those. So let's break down the box. We're going to leave this flap open. We're going to open up the top as well. So one piece of Velcro, another piece of Velcro, and then, if you remember earlier on, down at the bottom just here, we had fun trying to slide that big piece of card inside that long slot just there. Okay, I hope you remember that bit, because we're going to undo that now. So we just need to get our fingers in the top just here, and we're going to pull that. It actually comes out a lot easier than it goes in, if that makes sense. Okay, especially the first time. After you've done it a couple of times, it's a lot easier. But that comes out, it goes flat. We lift the slots up like that. Okay, and then this whole thing then will just flatten down. Done. Okay, and it's flat. And now it's easy to carry around. It's easy to go in my suitcase. It fits a lot better than carrying around a solid box. The only difference is now is that this won't go back inside your envelope that you got with the box. Okay, it will go in, but it will stick out an amount about that much. Because if you remember, we folded this piece here and glued it, and earlier on it was about here, and now it's sticking out here. So it's just ever so slightly longer now than the envelope that you've got with the box. Okay, so it will go in, but the envelope won't close essentially. Okay, so if you're thinking why doesn't it go in, it's because we folded that bit and glued that bit, and it's changed the dimensions of the box being flat. But that's it flat, and that's it ready to travel, and then we're ready to go again. So let me just show you, flipping it back up again. All we're going to do that. We push these pieces in here. We get that to drop down like that. Okay, so we've got this triangular piece going into the slots. And then this big flap here goes through there. Get a hand inside. And then go on, and you go. There we go. Done. Flap over, flap and close, and we're all ready. Done. The AmazeBox. Of course, that's not ready for performance because we don't have any of the force pieces of paper inside. But now all we have to do is open it up, put them inside, close it back up again, make sure that flap is out the way so we've got a clear slot, and we're ready to go. Amazing. It's a box. It's the AmazeBox.